Hi everybody, this is Todd Olthoff from toddolthoff.com coming back at you with another screencast. And this week we're going to continue our look at Profile Manager, and we're going to look this week at how do you enroll your iOS devices in Profile Manager. As we've done in previous screencasts, I've kind of walked you through the setup of Profile Manager. We also talked about how do you enroll Macs into Profile Manager. And so, like I said, this week we're going to look at the iOS version of that and how to get those things enrolled so that you have that all set up and ready to go. So as I've shown you before, Profile Manager, you can get there by looking at the Profile Manager portal, which if I again just click on that, it will bring up Profile Manager for me. And as I showed you last time, I've got my MacBook Pro enrolled, and so now I hope to add another device here, and I'm going to enroll my iPad this week. So we're going to take a look at how that works. So let me just let me put this down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my iPad, and then we'll walk through the process of enrolling it in my Profile Manager. Okay, here I am over on my iPad, and so if I'm going to enroll this particular device into Profile Manager, first thing I need to do is go to Safari, and inside Safari, what I want to do is actually put in the server address. You want to put in your server's address with the / My Devices, and that will bring you to the My Devices part of the website. From here, you're going to want to put in your username and your password, and then just tap Login. Okay, and I'm going to get this cannot verify the server's identity because I have a self-signed certificate. I don't have a certificate that I've registered on the outside. And as I told you in the screencast that you may get this from time to time if you have a self-signed certificate, this is what your users will see. And so it is kind of a warning. It might scare some people off. So if you're in a corporate environment, you probably want to have some kind of verified certificate. But for home users, you already know it's you, so it's not that big of a problem. So I'm just going to tap Continue. And so now it's going to load me into the website. And you'll notice that because I've logged in with the same ID, it's got my MacBook Pro that I've already enrolled into the service. And it notices that this is an iPad, and it says that I can enroll this iPad as well if I want to. And as I've covered in the previous screencasts, I don't want to click Enroll yet because I've got to install all of the necessary certificates so that my iPad will actually trust my server and allow it to enroll and push changes to it. So instead, I want to tap Profiles here and go to the Profile screen. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to enroll the Trust profile because that's going to allow my iPad to actually trust the settings and things that are coming in from my server. So I'm just going to tap on Install. And what it's going to do is move me right over into the Preferences area here. And it says, hey, here's a trust profile for this guy. It's not verified, so we're not exactly sure who it is. Are you sure you want to install it? And so I'm just going to tap on Install. And it's going to tell me that it's an unverified profile. It's going to do some things at root, which means that it's going to have control over my device. And so I better be sure that I want to install it if that's the case. And so I do because I know it's me. So I'm going to install. And then it asks you to enter your passcode, and that's the passcode that you have on your iPad. So let me just enter that in right now. Okay, and so now it says it's verified. The profile is installed. You can see there, if I just tap Done, it'll take me right back to the website. So it's really nice because it kind of moves me in and out of this process. So now what I want to do is let's enroll my device now into the system here. So I'm going to go back to Devices, and now I'm just going to tap Enroll. And now it's going to take me back, and it's going to actually want to install the remote management certificates that I need in order to manage this device through the Profile Manager interface. And so I'm just going to say Install. And so again, it's telling me that it's going to do this, that the administrator could collect personal data, add and remove accounts. I could put restrictions on here, manage apps, and all of that. Are you sure you want to do it? And so again, I'm going to say Install. And it's installing the profile, and now it says it's installed. And I want you to notice that it does say verified, and it said verified right away, and that's because of that trust certificate. So it knows that it's verified that, yes, this is the same server that had that trust certificate on it. So I tap Done, and now my iPad shows up. And so I've got my iPad in there. Again, the serial number's on there. I can do the same thing remotely through the website as I can with my MacBook Pro. I can lock my device. I can wipe it. I can even clear the passcode on there. If somebody has my passcode, I can clear it and set up another one. So I can do all of this through any web browser. So any web browser I can get to where I can put in my server's name / my devices and log in, I have access to this. So again, it just adds another layer of security, right? That kind of like Find My iPhone. If I lose my device, I can come in here and I can do these various things with it remotely, and it will operate those things on my device. So what I'm going to do, just like I did on my MacBook Pro, let's go back to the Profiles area here, and let's remember the settings for everyone sets up contacts, calendar, messages, and VPN. Let's go ahead and install those to see what that process looks like. Again, I come back in here. Notice it's verified, again, because of that trust certificate. And so I'm just going to install these settings for everyone. And it says installing this is going to change some settings on your iPad. Okay, that's fine. Let's install now. And so now I have to enter the password for the VPN account that I'm installing here. So let me enter that and then we'll go from there. Okay, now that I've got that entered in, I just tap Next. Now it wants the password for my contacts for CardDAV, so I need to put that in there. So let me put that in and I'll be right back. Okay, once I have that in there, I tap Next. It's going to ask me to do it again. And I need to do this for every single one of these profiles. It says it's optional, but if I put it in now, then it saves it and I don't have to worry about it. So let me just do this again for the calendar. Okay, now that I've got that in the calendar, just tap Next. And so now it says everything is set up. I've got my VPN, my contacts, and my calendar all set up. I tap Done. It takes me back to the web page, and everything now is all set up and ready to go. And so for those of you that were curious about VPN, I'll probably do a specific one on setting up VPN on an iOS device for those of you that want to put it in manually. But if you wanted to kind of know where that setup took place, if you go into Settings here, and you go into General, you can see there's all of my certificates right there. If I just go back on General here, and if I just scroll all the way down here to the bottom, you see I've got VPN right down here. And my VPN profiles are set up in here. And so I've just got 2 that are set up. And then you just throw the switch to turn VPN on. But that's where it's set up all of that information, just in case you were wondering where that went. So I just wanted to show you that before we went. So what I want to do now is let me just show you that our iPad did show up on the profile page. So let me just go over to a web page and show you what that looks like. So here we are back on the Profile Manager page where I would manage my devices, and as you can see now my iPad has shown up as well. So now I've got my MacBook Pro enrolled and my iPad, and you can see that from here now I can actually change the settings and the different options that are on these various devices. And like I said, I'll go into more detail on that in the future. Well, that's all I have for this week. I'll be back at you next week with another screencast to help you learn how to do more things with your Mac.